Because that's our only hope. We've got no hope in this place, man.
These are Proverbs chapter 25, verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. It says a just man falleth 7 times. So we fell, as a people, we always fell, man. Throughout the scriptures, we always fell as a people into slavery, into captivity, right? Into oppression from all the nations round about because we transgressed the covenant of the Heavenly Father. But the ultimate falling of our people, and when we were removed out of the land of Israel, and we came into the wilderness, which is what the land of Africa, and to all neighboring countries, scattered to the 4 corners of the world. So as a people, we fell from our heritage, we lost our knowledge of who we were, our language, our cross, the high holy days. We lost everything that made us us. There was a falling away of our people. Right? And indeed, it had to happen. The state that we're in right now was necessary. It had to happen. In order for the day of Yahweh Shai to come forward. Because when Yahweh Shai comes, what's he going to do? He's going to save us. Meaning, in order for him to save us, we have to be in a low predicament. We have to be in a fallen estate in order for him to save us. So we have to fall away. So we can ultimately trust in his name and call upon him for deliverance. Second Thessalonians 2 verse 3. In the middle of verse 3, except they come a falling away first. Right, let me start from verse 1 so we can understand. Now we beseech you, we beg you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and by our gathering together unto him. Are we not gathered together unto him, through him? That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come. Not only that day is talking about the day of Hamashiach and Hamashiach. The Lord comes back, man. And he invades planet Earth with what the white man calls UFOs. That day is going to come, at least we as a people are first destroyed. But who destroyed us? The so-called white man.
Raise it, raise it.
Even to the foundation thereof. The excellency of Jacob was cast down to the earth, man.
Who burnt down our temple? Who sacrificed swine's flesh on the altar?
That's it. Revelation 12, verse 2. And she, meaning the woman, which is the Israelites, and she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. Right? And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 horns, 7 heads, and 10 horns. Having 7 heads and 10 horns. What does the 7 heads represent? The 7 provinces of the ancient Greek Empire. Which is what? Greece, Germania, Major, Germania Minor, Spain, France, Britain, and Rome. That all formulated the ancient Roman Empire. That's the 7 heads. And out of the 7 heads came what? The 10 horns. Which represents what?
The 10 EU
The
founding
European
nations.
nations, which is the modern day Roman Empire. The revival of this beast. Because what happened? That head received a deadly wound and was healed.
So it revived.
It came back during the Renaissance period.
Yeah.
Meaning Edomites came back into power. Right? And formulated what? The system that we're in right now. The EU and NATO. That's the 10 horns. Because the European Union was originally made out of 10 European markets. Now it's 27 or more. Right? So it says, right, verse 4, and his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Read that again. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven. What's the stars of heaven? The 12 stars, man, of Jacob. Right?
Right?
So the tail of the great red dragon drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven and then what? Cast them down to the ground. Cast our excellency down to the ground, man.
Yeah.
So we as a people became another province within the Roman Empire. We became tributary to the Roman Empire, man.
That's right.
Right? That's when you're reading I believe it's
Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Who's done the tribute.
Exactly. So the Caesars were in power.
We have no king but Caesar.
Get that.
Come. Which one? Render unto all.
Get that, and then
Right.
So it says Luke chapter 2 verse 1. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Right? So does that mean that everybody on planet Earth was being taxed? The Chinese and the East Indians, everybody on planet Earth, even in the Americas, everybody was being taxed by the Roman Empire. No, that's talking about Israel. All Israel would be taxed. Showing you that, you know, when John 3:16, for God so loved the world, the world is talking about the Israelites, man. In fact, let me prove that. Let's continue reading. That all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. So it says, and all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth. So it says, out of the city of Nazareth. So it says, and verse 3, and all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city, right? That's the world. All went to be taxed. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. Right? So who is in power during that time of our people? The Romans, man. Esau, Edom. That great red dragon. And you know what symbolized the authority of the Roman Empire? When Herod the Great, man, issued that decree where he was looking for Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
And he killed all of the
children under the age of 2.
yeah. That's how he cast us down to the earth, man. This is St. Matthew chapter 2, verse 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. So every child, man, male child that's under the age of 2 years old and under, was slaughtered, man, in all Bethlehem. That's showing you the authority of that great red dragon.
If I may, Baba
That's
Kushar.
history.
That's a foreshadowing of Revelation 12 and 12, the devil coming down with great wrath.
Right.
Because he knows that he has but a short time.
Right.
So from the minute that Yahweh Shai birth came, that's when the last days started.
Right.
So Esau's looking like, shit man, if this Yahweh Shai that's prophesied to come, if he comes, that's the end of us. We got to kill him. So they fell 2,000 years ago, but they got him on the cross. But obviously they're not realizing that he's going to resurrect. And now he's coming back as a, not as a man, but as a force of heaven. You know, so now that's why Esau's scared. You know, he's got his little spaceships and his satellites looking out to see when's he coming, when's the chariots coming. Now he sees us rising up, turning to Revelation 11. We're standing on our feet. So this guy is shook, man.
Right. It shows you right there that Revelations 12 is talking about the great red dragon. That's referring to what the Roman Empire, right? And that was ruled and governed by who? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom. So when you go to Revelations, chapter 12. In fact, we're gonna read on. It's gonna show you that that great red dragon was the devil and Satan. Deceived the whole earth. That shows you that, and as I said before, Esau came out red all over, like a hairy garment. So we know, say, who was ruling that great red dragon, that sinful system, which is what? The fourth beast. You understand? That's an Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and had great iron teeth. Right? And great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. That shows you that that beast was the great red dragon. They say that the great red dragon had what? 7 heads and what?
10 horns.
So that great red dragon is the same beast that we're speaking about right now. Read it again. I saw in that vision, behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and they had great iron teeth, man. Right? And the teeth, what do you use teeth for?
To tear, to devour,
to destroy.
Yep.
Right? That's your strength, that's your military might. Okay? Let me start from Psalms 58, verse 1. But the point is in verse 6, right? Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Did it not scripture say that the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force? Who's the violent? Esau, Edom. They took us by force, man. Right? Because what happened? During the time of the city of Masada, 70 AD, the burning of the temple in Jerusalem.
Oh, I had that on deck.
They took it by force, man. They sent their legions down. They destroyed the temple. They surrounded us in the city of Masada. And what did we do? We committed mass suicide. The kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. Showing you that's another attribute of the wicked. Their violence is weighing in the earth. Look at the weight of their violence in the earth. The so-called white man, all the violence that he's committing. That skill will break, man. That balance will drop through the damn table, man. Right? People look at the so-called white man like he's just jumping. The scripture says, weigh his violence in the earth, man. Read, go.
This is 1 Ezra 4 and 45. Thou hast also vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees.
Read that, girl.
1 Ezra 4 and verse 45. Thou hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees.
See that?
Can I say something about
See that?
Esau has weighed his violence in the earth. This goes back to Cain and Abel. When Cain rose up and slew Abel, what did he do? He slew his brother by violence. So now in all these generations since then, Esau has sought to do the same thing, but it's been on a national scale rather than just, oh, I'm just going to slay my brother. Now it's nation versus nation. So Esau's looking to wipe out, if he could, the remnant of Jacob's seed. He's going right back to the birthright and the blessing, where Jacob said, the days of, Esau said, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So Esau's always been on this fucking killing spree, murderous intent, since they dot, man.
That psycho Hellraiser, man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He planning to get that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You gnash upon him with his teeth. Right? You plotted against the just.
Thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
Yeah, he's on the so wet, man. We know you want to kill us, man. Stop acting like you want to be our friends. Damn devils. Stop pretending, you deceivers. Liars. hell with motherfucker. Hold on. Yeah. Right there. Hold on, let me get this. Lock it. This is Genesis. Genesis chapter 27, verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So he's going to be eating the goodness of the whole earth. Because as the scripture said, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So Esau is getting the goodness of the earth. Right? As we all know, the mines, the coal mines, the oil, he's got control of all the industries of the earth. And he's benefiting from it. Right? They're the central bankers. It's them devils, right? And of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Weigh thou violence in the earth. That's how you got control of the earth. You're shedding man's blood. Right? Shall your sword, a sword is what a killing instrument. That's how you put down the inhabitants of the earth like a valiant man. Right? Cristobal Colon, showing himself to be some great one. But he could have put his sword down for a moment, slaughtering our people over there in North Central South America.
And enjoying
the indigenous people. Those are our brothers. Boy, oh boy, when we get his ass in the kingdom, we're going to do unto him as he has done to us. So it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. So you're going to serve, the scripture says what? The elder shall serve the younger. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? Because there was a time where he had you Edomites in slavery during the time of King David, during the time of King Solomon. But because we as a people were sinning against the Heavenly Father, committing adultery, right, laying up in bed with these idols, man, worshipping these idols, what happened? By and by, the Most High had the Edomites to rebel and to revolt under the kings of Judah. So that's the point from where Esau break that yoke from off their neck. You see, when we as a people, when we sin against the Heavenly Father, the Most High will have it where these other nations that are under us will revolt, man. They'll revolt.
Recently already, but I think Ahab's got on as well.
Hold on. Wait. Stop. There. So it says, 2 Kings chapter 8, verse 16. And in the 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, being then king of Judah, Jehoram and the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. 32 years old was he when he began to reign. And he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. Right? Let's talk about Jehoram. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, as did the house of Ahab. For the daughter of Ahab was his wife. And he did evil in the sight of Yahweh. Yet Yahweh would not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake, as he promised him to give him always a light unto his children. This is the point. Verse 20. In his days Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. You hear that? In his days, in Jehoram's days, did Edom revolt from under the hand of Judah. He revolted. Why? Because Jehoram, what he said, he did evil in the sight of the Lord, man. You see that? So Joram went over to Zaar and ordered chariots with him. And he rose by night and smote the Edomites which compassed him about, and the captains of the chariots, and the people fled into their tents. What's the point? So it says, verse 22, yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day. Then Libnah revolted at the same time. Right. So that's Esau removing that yoke from his neck. According to Bible prophecy, we go back to Genesis 27. In the middle of verse 40, it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. You see that? As we were just reading. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Meaning, he was plotting and saying, my father's dead. I'm gonna
murder this nigga.
Bury this motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then when I slay my brother Jacob. So he was plotting, man.
Yeah.
Gnashing upon Jacob with his teeth, saying, my dad's dead. That's why you wicked, man. He was waiting for his dad to die, and die, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I can kill this nigga.
Yeah.
He don't care now about his father when he says the days of my father's mourning are at hand. They're not gonna kill this nigga, man.
If I may as well, that's beautiful, because if you remember, Rebecca heard it. And then she told Jacob, you gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah. Oh!
So Rebecca, she knew Esau was a fucking ass, because remember when she went to inquire the prophet? Two nations in that room. Two manner of people, the elder shall serve the younger. So she knew Esau wasn't right from the start. But Isaac, he loved Esau because he looked like a boy, like a hunter boy. He eat of his venison. And obviously, the Most High deluded Isaac, which is why later on in life, Isaac became blind, which is spiritual, because he couldn't see that his eldest son was the wicked. I'll say this again because you didn't hear it.
No.
Oh, you heard it? Alright, yeah, that's why Isaac became blind, because spiritually he couldn't perceive it. So when, that's why Jacob came up with subtlety and he got the blessing. It was all set up through the spirit. Esau was never meant to have that birthright. So it all played out perfectly.
You know, the church people think that was unfair. She was being unfair.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's why.
Verse 42, and these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah.
Yeah. So Esau be talking shit.
And she sent and called Jacob. Because remember, Rebekah loved Jacob. So she found out. This is when the so-called black woman was
on point. Yeah.
Right?
She's on point, dude.
Right? And called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau has touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee.
So them thoughts of killing Jacob were comforting to Esau.
Yes. You see? See, Esau, he represents death.
That's
What's
right.
comforting to him is death.
Yep.
What's comforting to us is life. Right?
Yep.
The good news. This devil, man. See? Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran. and tarry with him a few days until thy brother's fury turned away. So Rebecca was putting her favorite son up on game, man. Saying, listen, go to my brother, Laban, and stay with him. Right? Go stay with him. Until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then will I send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you, both in one day? You know? But that's what I'm saying. Right. What's the point? I think it's in Psalms. It's a lot of it. Yeah, that's it. This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. That's what we're going back to, right? You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Who's done more wickedness, more violence than the so-called white man? I know you other nations, you hate Esau, you East Indians. You haven't forgotten what America's done, right? What England has done.
The great
There's
British
some people
Empire.
that come out and say, listen, why should we mourn for the Queen of England? She's sitting up there with a crown.
With stolen jewels.
With stolen jewels. Right? Of all the lands
I see you.
that she's colonized.
Preset.
Right? Weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Then come back to me and see whether we should have pity upon you, motherfucker. You got something, go on.
Yeah. Habakkuk. Slucky, let Ahab go first.
No, you go, bro. You go.
Alright, so what? Habakkuk 2 and verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and that establisheth a city by iniquity.
Read that again.
Habakkuk 2 verse 12 again. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establishes a city by iniquity.
Woe to him. Him whose coming is after the working of Satan, of all deceivableness and lying wonders. That's the 2 Thessalonians. Woe to him that established a city by what?
Blood.
By blood. And buildeth a what?
Let me read it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and that establishes a city by iniquity.
And injuries. Riches not by deceit. Woe to him. The word woe means anguish, destruction, anguish and destruction. Right? So we read on, you got something else?
Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and there may be robbed their fatherless. And what will they do in the day of visitation, and the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. Like what did Herod do when he issued that unrighteous decree? He set forth a decree to kill all the male Israelite children from 2 years old and under. Because of Israel. Right? Because why? Because he was looking for the child of prophecy that would rule all the Jews, because Herod wanted to be the king. But according to Bible prophecy, according to the Torah, according to our ancient predictions, that there would be a child that would be born in Bethlehem, and he would be the governor of Judah. So Herod, in his great jealousy, he wanted to kill that very same child who would be Yahweh Shai. So what did he do? He told the three wise men, he said, listen, once you go and worship him, but once you found him, come back and tell me, so I can come worship him too. See, that's how Esau operates. That's Esau, man. See, I want to worship him too. Nigga, you ain't about no down worshiping. Scripture says, the fool has said that there is no God.
Yeah,
you don't believe in the Most High. Talk about you want to worship him. You know? Right? When you find him, tell me. I want to pray. Right? But when the angel told the three wise men, don't go to that motherfucker, because he's gonna try and do.
Using them.
Right? He's just trying to use you as his pawns. So when Herod found out that he was mocked with the wise men, he ordered his troops to go down and issue a great slaughter. That's the violence of this man. But what happened? The Most High had already told Joseph and Mary to depart and go down to see that? See how the Most High works? The Most High will deliver you out of the hands of the wicked. It says Psalm 58 verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. You see? So it's something that's in them to be that way. The soul that's within them is not upright in them. That's why they, as soon as they're born, before they've even done any good or evil, they straightway do what's in them to do, which is lie, deceive. So it says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Going back to Revelations, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, their poison it says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. So the wicked can't learn this wisdom. Their ear stops. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Wisdom can't enter into a malicious soul.
Nor dwell in a body that is subject unto sin.
Right?
Precept.
So it says, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Who's those charmers? That's us. They can't hearken to us. Which proves that if you got a so-called white man that believes, he's up here listening, and he can hearken, he must be one of us, man.
That's right.
Because the scripture says that the wicked, they're like the deaf adder. But they can't hearken, even though we're charming never so wisely, because they're speaking forth what words of wisdom.
Precept when you're ready, yeah?
It says, break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Break their teeth. Going back to Daniel chapter 7, where it says, he had great iron teeth. Right? Bring up.
Psalms 50 verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in my mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and casteth my words behind me.
Right. Bring it up.
As the elder was saying, the wicked go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. This is further proof that the wicked, they can't receive the word of the Most High. Although they claim to claim the Bible through modern, Christianity and stuff. They claim to be the people of the book. But yet, when you really open the book, you see, hang on a minute, these people in these Edomite churches, they ain't doing anything that the book commands them to do. So why takest thou my word in thy mouth, seeing as thou castest it behind me? Everything about an Edomite's nature, if you just study them, is contrary to the laws of the Bible.
Já é 2 horas. Então vamos fazer o seguinte. Eu vou sair amanhã. Falar com você.
Oh, just a quick one here, short one here. Romans 8 verse 9. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. If so, be that the spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Yahweh HaMashiach, he is none of his. Yeah, as you said, that no matter what they do, it's not for them to have any to be a spiritual. Then it's you're carnally minded. So that's a sure sign. You know what I mean?
If I may add to that, to be spiritually minded is life,
Yeah.
but to be carnally minded is death.
Yeah. No other brother.
So that Esau, he's the carnal man. He represents death.
Yeah.
We're spiritual man because he trusts in how much we are shy. So we're spiritual. Right? Where it says here in Psalms 58, verse 6, break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break their teeth. Their teeth represents what? Their
power.
military man.
Yeah.
Break their teeth. So how is Shai, how Basham Yahshai going to break their military man? And he comes back in power in the Lord.
With the hosts of heaven in the chariots.
Right. That's what said there was war in heaven. Michael and his angel and the dragon and his angels
Yep.
fought. So that's how their teeth is going to be broken in their mouth, man. It says, break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. A young lion represents what? Power, man. Because the strength in your youth.
Yep.
That's in Proverbs. So this man is in his power structure. As scripture says, the power of the Lord is in the hand of the Lord. And in due time he will set over it one that's profitable.
Yep.
But right now you have unprofitable people in power, which is what? Esau, Edom, the wicked. And they've been given power. See how the earth is messed up under the rulership of these devils, these sort of white people? They're unprofitable. They're not bringing any profit to the maintenance of this world. They're not governing righteously.
Using the power in unrighteousness.
Right.
If I may, Brother Kishar, the Most High commanded us to be fruitful and multiply. He commanded, the Most High wants to see a proliferation of life on the planet. Esau's contrary, that's why he's trying to diminish life on the planet. So he's not bringing about increase, he's bringing about decrease. And the scriptures say if he wasn't taken out of power, there'd be no flesh left to be saved. That's his, the man is just, oh man.
Oh. It says Isaiah 24, verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. But they tried to take the covenant of the Lord in their mouth, right? Professing themselves to be the people of God.
Those
Right? The
those
people
small
of the
hats.
land. Favor was shown unto them. While they learned their righteousness,
No.
favor was shown unto them. The Most High gave them authority and power.
Raw power management.
Spiritual.
The earth has been given into their hands. Who gave the earth into the hands of the wicked? The Most High. The Most High showed favor to them and said, listen, okay, I'm gonna see how you fare.
Yeah.
Seeing as my people don't want to keep the laws and commandments, I'm gonna give management of the whole earth to you.
Yeah. Let's see what you do with it.
Let's see if you better than my people. And that's why the Most High's moving us to jealousy.
Yep.
You see how we look at the so-called white people and we're like, yo, that's supposed to be us right there.
Yep.
And it says, do not envy the oppressor.
Alright?
Neither
The
choose
Lord
any
knows
of
that we
his
would
ways.
envy them. He said, don't envy them.
Yeah.
Because why? Because you know their end.
Yep.
You know what's going to become of them.
They're in the wrong seat because we're supposed to be in that high position.
Yeah. Right?
We have our seat.
Don't envy the oppressor or choose none of his ways, because the Most High would give power to the oppressor.
There's another one, Baba Kashar. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth him.
Right, hold on. What's that scripture? Yeah. It's Isaiah 26, verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, he will deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord.
Unjustice like it.
He's not going to learn righteousness. You know why? Because he can't. Wisdom will not enter. Wisdom won't enter into a malicious soul. Nor dwell in the body that's subject to sin. And this man, he's the man of sin. So wisdom isn't going to dwell in the so-called white man. True wisdom and understanding the management of the whole earth under the ordinances of the Heavenly Father. Right? Because you can't bring a clean thing out of an unclean. This man is unclean by nature. You can't make that which is crooked straight. You're crazy. You got the 2/3 of our people trying to make the so-called white man righteous. Come to church. Come to church. You know?
The scriptures say, a wicked tree cannot bring forth good fruit, neither can a good tree bring forth corrupt fruit.
Right.
So Esau is that wicked tree, and everything that comes from him is going to lead unto more and more wickedness.
Right. See?
And he's put the bottle to the nations as well, and made them drunk too. So they're all following after the philosophies of the so-called white man.
Right.
I can't stand this guy, man. He's got to go. Esau's got to go.
He's got to go. Right?
He's the root of all our fucking problems, man.
This man can't be read.
Matthew 7 verse 6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and render you.
You can't give this holiness unto this devil, because he's not going to learn righteousness. He's not going to learn it, man. He's not in his spirit. Would it say the soul that's within him?
It's not upright in him.
So it's an internal thing. You can't change something you can't change someone's soul. How you gonna change? You can't divert someone's soul into how you want it. The potter made the clay and made it how you wanted to make it. Who are you to come around and try and remold the clay into how you want it?
But that's exactly
The
what he's
potter is
doing.
the Heavenly Father. And the Most High made this man to not be upright, to be crooked. So here is, you got the 2/3 of our people, them Christian, the John 3, 69ers, man.
They want to
God
hold on
loves
to.
everybody. Like they don't understand that the Most High has made certain things the way it is, man.
The And I tell you what, that stumbling block is going to remain forever with these Christians. That'll be a stumbling block forever. That they won't change. They won't change.
They can't change, man. Most have put upon them a strong delusion that they believe. So the Esau has worked his magic on them. The Most High has used the so-called white man to deceive the 2/3 of our people. That's why they're like that. That's why they want to save them. No hand join in hand. The wicked will not go unpunished. He's trying to save the motherfucker. But he was a vessel fitted for destruction. You can't save him. He's condemned.
Like a building, when it's condemned, you don't want to go in and live in that building. It's going to be torn down.
Trying to save them off of it. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 15. That which is crooked
Cannot be made
cannot
straight.
be made straight. And that which is wanting cannot be numbered. See, that which is crooked, you can't make that motherfucker straight. It was made to be crooked, man. Now how much you try and bend it and try and make it straight, is this gonna go back to being crooked again, man? You know? It was made that way. Can you change a leopard's spots? What's that one? That's Jeremiah 13. Jeremiah 13 verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Right? These motherfuckers, they're accustomed to do evil. You can't change a leopard's spots. Right? Some people, they just don't know the truth. They don't understand it. But when they say in Psalms 58, break their teeth in their mouth, right? Psalms 58, verse 6, break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh. Let them melt away as waters, which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. As a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away. That's the nuclear destruction. But it said the elements shall melt the fervent heat.
The Most High said, I will melt them.
Right, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. Right, to break their teeth. Go back to Daniel 7, and verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, strong exceedingly, and they had great iron teeth. Right? Says in the middle of verse 7 again, it devoured and break in pieces and stamped the residue. And stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Again, this is going into the Roman Empire. So it diverse from all the beasts that were before it. Why? Because it had a Senate. We had the patricians and the plebeians, which today would be the Democrats and the Republicans. Right? Back in ancient times, in kingdoms that were before the Roman Empire, a successor to the throne would be decided on whether he was the firstborn of the king himself, right? By royal lineage. But now in the Roman Empire, you had elected Caesars that were elected into authority, decided by the Senate. That's what made the ancient Roman Empire diverse from all the other kingdoms or empires before it. Right? I think that's in the Maccabees. It's on 1 Maccabees chapter 8, verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and made a league of amity with all that came unto them, and that they were men of great valor. It was told to him also of their wars and noble acts which they had done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute. Let me get to the point. So it says, down. It says, verse 13, also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign, and whom again they displace. Finally, that they were greatly exalted. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown. You hear that? So that's something that made this beast diverse from all the other beasts that were before it. Because the Caesars or the emperors that ruled ancient Rome, none of them wore a crown. None of them actually had a crown upon their head. So it says, yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple. Purple represents what?
Royalty.
Royalty, man. To be magnified thereby. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered. So that's another thing. They had a senate house. You didn't see that in ancient kingdoms before that. The senate house meaning two labor parties.
Kind of like the House of Commons.
Yeah, the House of Commons over here in Britain. What is it? You have
Labour and Conservatives.
what?
Conservatives and Labour.
Yeah, the Labour Party and the Conservatives. But in a way, that's confusion because the house of a wise man is well ordered.
Yeah, the government of a wise man is not ordered.
Yeah, why do you need two? There's a breach. And they're debating and they're arguing.
If I may.
That shows what confusion.
Yeah.
Because in our kingdom of heaven, you're not going to have the tabernacle of David. There's a breach in there. It's going to say the breach will be closed.
That's right.
So in the kingdom of heaven, you're not going to have, you know, Judah and then Israel, and they were both debating how to order the people them.
Yeah.
It's going to say that the breach will be closed, man.
Stick together.
Right.
A house divided against itself cannot stand.
You see that?
Yeah.
So that's the difference, man. That shows you that this is Babylon, a city of confusion.
Yeah.
Debating and stuff, man. Different ideas. The scripture says we're supposed to be like-minded.
If
Both Labour parties are supposed to be like-minded.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be arguing, you know, debating and stuff like you don't have the truth. That shows you don't have the truth.
If I may. So like to chime in, but even that, because it's all an illusion. It's an illusion of confusion to make people think that they have a vote to say what's going on. But if you look at the words, what is it? Republican, doesn't that mean for the Republic?
Right.
And a Democrat, so you've got the Democrats and the Republicans. Democrat goes back to democracy, which means rule of the people.
Right.
So really, they both mean the same thing.
Right.
Yet they're seemingly opposing each other. But it's all a stage show, isn't it? Anyway, because Esau's giving people the illusion, because I think it was I may be wrong, but I believe it was Plato who said that the rules should never be given to the people. So people are given the illusion of, oh yeah, we can vote for this guy or that guy, that makes a difference.
Right.
But it really doesn't make a difference to the elites who are running the society. Right. They're the ones pulling the puppet strings, running the show. May I give an example? Remember when we was at Burgess Park? You had the little guy come up with a pot belly. And he's like, when you go at the cut of the Lord, he says, I've got to go now.
Yeah.
And we said, where are you going? Why are you running? I've got to go home and watch the Conservative leadership debate. It's very important. You know, and he ran home.
Yeah.
And look what happened, right? Liz Truss gets put in 5 days later, her ass is out and they've got the next nigger in there, Rishi Sunak. So what did he accomplish by sitting there watching the BBC debate?
Right.
He didn't accomplish shit, man.
Right.
Because whatever way he voted, they're going to put who they want in there anyway. And Liz Truss is just put in there to fuck things up. Then they're going to put this guy in who's going to further the elites, agenda of the elites. It's just all bullshit, man.
This is Sirach chapter 10 verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is
well ordered.
See that?
And what they always screaming for in the House of Commons, order, order, I say. You know what I'm saying? If there was order in your fucking house, you'd need to have people cheering and order. Fucking bullshit, man. It's like
Right? This is Amos chapter 9 verse 11. In that day, when I raise up the tabernacle of David that has fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I'll build it as in the days of old. What's that talking about? In that day, when I raise up the tabernacle of David that's fallen, because remember, there was a falling away first. There was a falling away of our people. The Lord is raising us back up, making us stand upon our feet. According to Ezekiel 37, an innumerable army or something like that, a great multitude. The Lord put that breath of life.
Let me get it for you.
us.
Let me get it for you.
So we now stand upon our feet and exceeding great army. The Lord is gathering us, man. Right? I'm putting that breath, which is the breath according to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 24 of Ezekiel 25. That breath is talking about this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This Holy Spirit, the Most High is putting a spirit into our mouths. So we're being raised back up again. We're being resurrected from that dead estate. Right? The Lord is raising up the tabernacle of David that was fallen. And what does it say? And close up the breaches thereof. So there's not going to be no breach amongst our people, Israel and Judah. Right? So we're gonna be like-minded, speaking the same thing. That's beautiful, man.
That's called harmony. No dissenting voices, no discord, pure harmony. Chariots back directly overhead.
Huh?
Chariots back directly overhead. I think that's the chariot because I can't see the other stars.
It's all the stars in the sky, boy.
And it's right above our heads.
It's right here. Right here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Romans chapter 12, verse 16. Be of the same mind, one towards another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Read that again. It says, be of the same mind, one towards another. The government of Esau, Edom, Democrats and Republicans, are they of the same mind? There's a breach. But the Lord said what? He's going to close up the breaches of the tabernacle of David. Israel and Judah make us of one stick, of one mind. As the scripture says, if a kingdom be divided against itself,
It cannot stand.
how can it stand, man? See, this is why we're going to stand at the end of it. Because when they say, how beautiful is it? Yeah, how you go. Yeah. Psalms 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. In unison, man. Unity means what? One. So we're of one mind. How beautiful for us to be in one mind. Because in the world, when you look at our brothers in the world, so-called black men in the world, what are we always doing, man? Arguing and debating this philosophy and that, right? This leads to contention and it's grievous. Here it is, we're preaching that we're the Israelites. Another brother will come along talking about he's an Egyptian. Another guy coming along, he's a Muslim. It's grievous, man. It's not pleasant. It's not beautiful, man. Then we're all debating and here it is, we're arguing that we're enemies. And then, what the so-called white man doing? On the side, he's just smiling, man.
He's profiting off us being at each other's throats.
Yeah. He's just smiling. Look at these niggas, I set them against one another.
You know what? It's like I bet one of the biggest people who watch World Star Hip Hop is Edomites. Because they always see Jake doing stupidness to each other there.
Yeah, as long as we're in that stupefied state of being.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gets a high off of that.
Doing it against
The niggas are so stupid, we don't even realize it. Like you see niggas in the street,